Future Proof is sponsored by Equipping Young Adults for Life, inspiring student resilience, championing hope.
Just go and zone and then come back in to the arena again. Very, very, very important. So what I also want to take you through is Locus of Control. Have any of you heard of Locus of Control? Brilliant. Okay, so locus is Latin for place of control. So Julian Rotter wrote a paper in 1954, an American psychologist. When he reflected on it, he said it was like lighting a cigarette and seeing a bushfire. He could not believe the reaction and the critique that he had for his paper. Most of those critics said it is too extreme. And when I go through it, I think you'll agree with him. But I also think you'll agree with me when I say the guy had a point. So, locus of control, place of control, external and internal locus of control. So, we have an external stimulus, a response, and then the outcomes. External stimulus is usually something you have no control over. It's them over there, the banks, the government, the people who are pulling your strings where you feel you have no sense of control. An external thinker will automatically respond. Can I just say, a bit like me replying to that email too quickly? Okay? And then we have the outcomes. So a person who is an external thinker will say, and where I am today, the outcomes, because of what happened to me. She sent me an email. Wasn't my fault I didn't forward it. I hit reply, kind of thing. These people will operate in the circle of, they're problem focused, and they operate in the circle of concern. They are often blame focused. They do not believe they have any power over their lives at all. In a business, you don't want a business overrun with these thinkers. But equally, they're quite good perhaps in the back room. Just tell me what you want to do. Tell me what you want me to do, and I'll keep doing it. An internal thinker has exactly the same scenario, but there is one small but major difference. External stimulus, response, outcomes. But an internal thinker will say, this external thing has happened. Or it could be a positive thing, it could be winning the lottery. And before responding, they dive into the choice box. In that choice box, you will be affected by your fear, rejection, anger, guilt, and all those other things that will affect your decision making. You will think of ways of getting your energy. Lots of things happen in that choice box. Do you know the one thing in life that no one can ever take away from you is your decision as to how to respond. You have seen it in incredible situations of crisis and hardship covered by the media abroad, and you would have seen it in your own front room maybe. You'll see it in hospitals. You'll see it where people have made a decision, whatever has come their way. These people operate, they're solution focused, and they operate in the circle of influence. They will say, I'm where I am today because of the decisions I've made. So they take responsibility. And I really committed to that when I was phoning people up to say sorry, when I put in consequences to my actions. The danger of it is some people can, if they are too aware that everything is up to them, they can, and you might see it in business, be too forceful, might even be slightly bullyish maybe, because they're so aware that their results are because they have their handle on the steering wheel, foot on the brake, foot on the accelerator. Sometimes they will actually ride over other people if you're not careful. Can you think for a second, and then in discussion just say, can you think of anybody that you know like that? And that's literally just half a minute or something that you think is an external person, but are they maybe slightly forceful because they are so fully aware that they have full control over their lives? Do they ride over anybody? This is literally just a second exchange. It's not much time at all. Off you go. I did say that was only for a second. Please forgive me. It's literally because I want to get all the content into the time that I have. It's important that you could, if somebody was burning here and as I was speaking, you could really pick, all you would have to say is yes, and you would say a name or what have you, and I just wanted to give you the opportunity to, if you like, chuck that over the fence and go, yes, I know who that is. Okay, so my last lesson that I learnt. Start with the end in mind and the importance of wisdom. For those of you who know Stephen Covey, he always says start with the end in mind. It's one of his 7 habits of highly effective people. Joyce Meyer says the definition of wisdom is knowing tomorrow that you will be very happy with the decision that you've made today. I really like that. And I realised that I had to bring some wisdom into my thinking. I wanted to be wise. I wanted, in Richard Roll's book, I wanted to get to that second level as soon as possible, which requires, I think, thinking patterns of wisdom and discernment. So I think I've nurtured that and tried to grow. And by the way, I'm still on a journey too. You know, that I don't think the journey ever ends. So a gentleman who helped me with that wisdom is a gentleman called Howard Gardner, and I've brought both of his books here. I've got 2 he's written prolifically about multiple intelligences. For those of you who were damned and trashed at school or felt that you walked out with no particular brain cells that would vouch for very much in life and what have you, then go and read Howard Gardner. He really showed me just how intelligent I was, and also showed me that every single human being has a selection of intelligences. So the question is not, are you intelligent? That's gone, it's been binned. So I would never ask you that, and don't you ever let anybody ask you that. You want somebody to come up and say, hi, what intelligences do you have? And I'm going to take you through his 8 intelligences. They fundamentally changed my life. I realised, number 1, that I already had quite a good high EQ, emotional intelligence. Emotional quotient is what that means. But also, apparently, IQ cannot be changed, EQ can be learnt. EQ is always to do with the positive things in life and what have you, but IQ can't change. I believe, even if I'm on my own, that that is not true. Because once I fully acknowledged how high my EQ was, my IQ went up as well. But other people might argue with that, but that is my personal experience, and I think maybe it was predominantly confidence related. I specialise in business transition. I work in the space between IQ and EQ. There is a lot of change that goes on between IQ and EQ. I commend to you, if you develop your emotional intelligence and you teach it to other people, it will help you with that business or personal transition, and that you will be able to strive for and get to Richard Rohr's 2nd level of thinking and behaving. Thank you very much indeed. EQ, emotional quotient, is better known as emotional intelligence. It is a tangible tool that can sit alongside your services or your product, and it can be taught. Leaders with high EQ have less stress, they're more effective, and they earn more money. There's a great saying, just because we have pains, it does not give us permission to be a pain. I believe that teaching emotional intelligence has a direct impact on your sense of success and your net profits. EQ will empower you and your workforce to drive the change that you want. Change brings transition. EQ can help unpack what's holding you back and speed up that period of transition.